Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Coding with Kishore Paul. In this video tutorial, we are going to build a Facebook application UI, which is just gonna look like your actual product of Facebook replicates. So this takes which is very time consuming product. So well, let's divide this product into this whole tutorial into small snippets of series so that everyone can understand and follow the series as I upload it. So on the first basis, I have made a few preparations I have added a few library, basically one library, just to get certain icons like basic icon or the toolbar icons, something like that. So make that happen. I have included this library. Make sure you pause the video, grab this icon. Grab this version of material uh, dependency. Make sure you place it right below the Flutter dependency and make sure the spaces are all right. Once that's done, I created an asset folder in the root folder, and make sure added some images. Make sure you feel free to add any images you want and any number of images too. So once that's added, I have enabled the the assets of the assets to make sure Flutter know where to get the images from. So I made this property enable. Make sure you enable these two. So once this is done, we're good to go. So on the first basis, what we're going to do is delete all these commands. As you can see now, as you can see now, it's just a blank Flutter demo this anymore. So what we're going to do is delete all this, just leaving the necessary. Delete that. And also we do not need bottom the home screen with all those. So we left with only the scaffold and the thing. So we change the title for UI on screen. The home will render the home for a different screen from a different screen. And this navigation tab bar screen is yet to be created. So go back to library, create a new folder for this, call it as screens, create a new file called nav tab bar. Should be finished with the dot. Forget that. Okay. Then you will import a stateful widget because we are dealing with a bottom navigation bar, which means you should maintain the state of the widget, which widget or which screen you're calling on pick up the items. So in order to do that, we create a stateful widget and we call it as navigation. Make sure to import the material dot. Import the material dot. Once that's done, save this. Go back to main dot. Import that. Say that. Import that. Fabric. That's imported. So all we're gonna do is from the this. All we're gonna do is from the nav tab. So put that. As you can see, our screen is rendered on now because we remove the scaffold. There's nothing to view in the navigation. The next thing is we'll set some theme data for us. So we did not need the debug on the top, so we'll remove the debug banner from the top. So once that's done, also we need is for the scaffold background color. Then we'll create a screen a config file. So go for a new folder, create a folder called inside this config folder. We will create a new file called prevalent dot. In this prevalent dot, we'll create a class called prevalent. Make sure to import the material dot. So before that, material dot. Once that's imported, we will define some constant final color. So okay guys, I paused the video and type this is just constant declarations for linear gradients. Make sure you pause this video and type the word. Then once that's done, the scaffold background color, we call that prevalent class we had just created, and prevalent dot scaffold. So let's run the static color we defined earlier. Once that's done, save that. Close that for actually we do not need that anymore. Close it. Come back to nav tab bar. Spelling right. Okay, once that's done, so in order to define the bottom navigation bar and stuff, first we need a set of screens and icons. So come to the state widgets. Make sure you define some screens. So the screens will be a list of screens. That's widgets basically. Widget, and we call it as private screen. Okay, screens is equal to, we'll define a set of screens, and set of screens are for now, let's say home screens 1. These screens are yet to be created, so I'm confused. Home screen, then we have is second one would be video screen. The third one is group screen, and the fourth one is notification screen, and the fifth one is profile screen. Once all that is done, okay, once that is created, these are the screens we yet to be called, created and deployed. So in order to make sure that happens, we will just create those screens, or first let's define the icons. So again we need a set of icons, so we call it as list of icons with icon data. So icon data, and we call it as icons, and we define the list of icons. The icons are first icons is icons at home, icons dot home. The second one, okay, that no need to skip. Once that's done, then we also need an int value for the selected index to make that as well, and it's set to 0 now. Okay, index. So once that's done, the index is set, then this body, this container should return on default tab controller. This default tab control takes a length and child. So the length is icons dot length. That's final icons dot length, and the child will return, the child is a scaffold, will return a scaffold for the child. The body should return a index tag, where it takes a property called index. The index is selected index. Then we have our children, and the children's are screens. Once the body property is done, then the next property is bottom navigation bar. The bottom navigation bar, and for the bottom navigation bar, we will define a custom navigation bar. So we call it custom bar. It takes the parameters. One is for the icons. We pass the icons. Then we have the index. And it pass the selected index. Then the last one is for the on tab. So on tab, you will say create a function of index. We'll pass the index as a parameter. And the parameter take is set the state of that parameter depends on what it has. So this state take that state will set it as select index to be index. If we select index, this custom bar is yet to be created. So to create this custom bar, we just come down within this state, in this file, and so call it as state less widget. Then call it as a custom bar. Once it is custom bar, then it takes parameters. So the parameters are list of icon data. We call it as icons. Then we have selected index to be an integer. So int selected index, and other one is untab. So it's function. We call it as untab. We need a constructor for that. The constructor for this constructor are required. So add a required property into it. System and another required and another required. Once required is done in the custom with a tab bar. In this tab bar, we have an indicator which defines the indicator on top of select index. So indicator gives a box declaration. The box declaration has a border, and the border is defined as border defined and the border. And we say border side. Border side. Then you see color properties as relevant body constant color. Then we have a size of one side. We have property called width. Let's say 3.1. Next we can import the class. Once that's done, then we have a property called indicator padding. We should set it at 0. Indicator padding 0. That's done. Right below this operation, we have another property called tabs. So it takes list of tabs. So tabs are the icons as we passed earlier. So we'll pass the icons. And we will convert this as map.map. It takes key value pair, and the key is the index and the value is icon itself. So this also should return a map entry, which takes again a key value pair. The key is the index, and the value is the value is an icon. We'll define inside the tab. The tab takes an icon, the E, and sets the icon color to make sure distinguish between the selected. That's to the icon, sorry. So icon will be E. We set the color, the selected or not selected. Then check the index, selected index is selected index. Then we make the top. So if it is selected index, then set the color as equivalent.blue. Else we'll set it as colors.black. Say goodbye. And we also require to convert this map to values and then value back to dot values to string dot to string to list. Okay, once that's done, there's one last property called contab, and then pass the contab. Okay, so now all we know to need is this screens to be created. So in order to do that, come back to that, let's state test widget, call it home screen for the first screen. Then just turn the container with the color. Say colors just to distinguish this time to make sure it is with a color. Just see the tabs open or not. Say red. So take this So copy these 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this screen name and colors. The second one is video screen, and the colors say purple. And the third one is group screen. Well. So group screen. Let's group screen the color of, and the third fourth screen will be notification screen, and colors say green. And the last one is file, and to be gray of 200. Yeah, that top error is issues. Yeah, see, run that, open your terminal, and there we go. Now, as defined earlier, we have tab indicator, we have tab distribution, backlight color, we have a TV, we have notification, and we have, so now that's working fine. We'll make sure. We'll see you guys in the next video tutorial. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and give a thumbs up.